Okay, this is Coach Dez here. I am here to talk about the Chiefs defense versus the Eagles defense. So, as I told you earlier, that this is the R is for regular season, P is for postseason. As you can see, regular season, postseason. So now the Chiefs on defense, they give up 4 yards rushing to the right, down the middle 4 yards, rushing to the left 4 yards, and that's during the regular season. Passing to the right 10 yards per completion, passing down the middle 14 yards per completion, passing to the left 10 yards per completion. They also have average 3.3 sacks per game, zero point 0.7 interceptions per game, and 1.2 fumbles per game. That's during the regular season. During the postseason, they gave up 9 yards rushing to the right, 4 yards down the middle, 4 yards to the left, 10 yards passing to the right completion, 14 yards passing down the middle, 8 yards passing to the left. They averaged 3.5 sacks per game, 2 interceptions per game, and zero point 0.5 fumbles per game. That's during the postseason. So overall, during the regular season, they gave up 25 rushes for 117 yards, 25 for 39 completions for 255 yards. But in the postseason, they averaged 19 for 108. There was 19 carries for 108 yards they gave up, 26 for 42 completions for 253 yards. Not that far off from the regular season. Do you see that? When you defense, I am a defense type of person. I believe that defense wins games. And when you're averaging the same as what you give up in the postseason, that means the defense is not watching tapes and they're not paying attention and they're running the same way they did it through the regular season. What you do in the regular season, you have to step up your game in the postseason. So let's look at the Eagles. Now, the Eagles average giving up for yards is they give up 4 yards per carry during the right, 4 yards per carry down the middle, 5 yards per carry to the left, 10 yards per completion to the right, down the middle, 12 yards per completion, 10 yards completion to the left. But in the regular season, they average 4.1 sacks per game, 1 interception per game, 1.3 fumbles per game. Now, during the postseason, the defense averaged 5 yards, giving up 5 yards to the right, giving up 5 yards down the middle, 4 yards to the left, 10 yards per completion to the right, 11 yards per completion down the middle, 6 yards completion to the left, but they averaged 3.5 sacks per game, 0.5 interceptions per game, and 2 fumbles per game. So now, the Eagles regular season, they were 26 for giving up 120 yards, 21 for 34 for 216 yards. But in the postseason, they were 22 and they only gave up 101 yards. They were 13 for 23 and they gave up 116 yards. Do you see the difference in that? That is almost 120 yards different. That means this defense, the Eagles, stepped up to the plate and said, you're not getting the yards that you want, not today and not on our turf. So I think the Chiefs defense is Eagles defense is better than the Chiefs defense. So the edge will go to the Eagles because they have stepped up their game in the postseason and they showed why they are in the Super Bowl. Whereas you, Chiefs, are still playing on the same level as if this is just a regular game. It is not a regular game. You have to step up your game. These numbers should not be like this. That means you're giving up 360, let's just say 370 yards. It should not be that way, okay? They're only giving up 217 yards. Versus in the regular season, they were giving up 336 yards. Your regular season, you were giving up 300 and almost 70 yards. You have not changed. You have not changed. So therefore, the edge goes to the Eagles. And that concludes part 2.